Guys, welcome back to the channel. Do you struggle with your pitching? This is a common error I see on a regular basis. Think of the club face and its reference point to your left wrist. A lot of golfers get this club face too closed, almost like this. This 56 degree loft I've got is now turned into about 40 degrees. Club face is relatively closed. What's going to happen from there is the left wrist will think the knuckles on your left hand are going to point down towards the ground, almost like in a bowled action. Great for full swing, not so good for pitching, where we want to encourage the club to get underneath the ball. So club face getting quite closed, what that does is it's going to get the grip end of the club too far ahead of the club head. We're going to drive that club into the ground almost like this. The leading edge digs into the ground and you've got 10 degrees of bounce in that club. That's going to reduce into zero. So what's going to happen? We're going to struggle to get the club underneath the golf ball to help us hit the ball in the air to create maximum launch and also spin. Well, when you do the next thing, you're pitching and you're not getting the ball in there, the tendency is the club face could be quite closed, where the grooves are pointing too much towards the ground. Left wrist is pointing too much towards the ground. The more we close the club face in the backswing, the more we're going to have to add loft, drive the handle high and right to try and orientate this face a little bit more open. And what's going to happen is the leading edge is going to lift off the ground and all weight's going to be behind the ball. And that's going to encourage us to thin shots and also just a lack of control and consistency. Think of where your left wrist is. Don't get the knuckles on your left hand pointing too much towards the ground because that closes the face. Almost feel like you've got a little bit more of a cup in, so you're taking your left wrist, you're trying to get the knuckles on your left wrist to point closer to the wrist angle. That would be slightly bowed, where the knuckles are away from the wrist. Try and get the knuckles to point back at your wrist, so you should feel a little bit of an angle. You feel the knuckles are pointing back at your body line, and the club face feels like it's a little bit more open. That would be relatively closed, knuckles towards the ground. That'd be relatively square, left wrist pretty flat. Try and feel like you've got a little bit arching in your left wrist where the knuckles are quite close to your body line, and try and get the grooves to the sky. The club face will move back. As we come through, the grip end of the club's pointing more back towards your left hip, with the club face more towards the sky. Many people who struggle in pitching, they get the club face too closed in this position where the toe overtakes the heel. What I want you to feel like you're doing is feel like the heel stays above the toe, almost in this direction. The toe gets too far ahead of the heel. Feel like the heel is slightly higher on the toe, just to try and maintain the loft in that club face. If you want to hit it higher, just get the club face a bit more open, and as you release it, try and get the grip end of the club working back towards your right hip, almost like that. So the club head feels like it's overtaking the hands. If I want to hit it lower, I just try and get the butt end of the club more towards the middle of my belt buckle. Even lower, I want to get the grip end of the club even working towards the left hip. So think high shot, grip working towards my right hip on the way through. Medium shot, grip end of the club working close to my belt buckle. And low shot, grip end of the club working close to my left hip. If you struggle to hit the ball up in there, don't bow your left wrist too much. Try and get club face a little bit more open. Knuckles pointing back towards your body line, that's going to open up that club face. Through, we're going to try and feel like grip end of the club is pointing back at the middle of my belt buckle, the club face a little bit more open. A good way to think about that is trying to get the heel a little bit higher than the toe. If you're somebody that hits the ball too low, where the toe gets a little bit lower compared to where the heel does. As you come through, keep the club face nice and open. Keep the radius of your hands quite close to your body. Your chest the target, keep your hands quite close to your body. Your chest gets a little bit higher. Don't get your chest pointing towards the ground too early, whether you're going to encourage too much shaft lean. This shot, really your chest elevates towards the sky a little bit more on the way through. So think left shoulder looking up, chest to the sky. That's going to allow the club head to overtake the hands a little bit more. It's going to allow the grip end of the club to work back towards my body. If the chest points too much towards the ground, grip end of the club gets too far ahead. The club head, we're going to compromise the strength. Left shoulder and chest working up towards the sky. And almost to feel right palm to the sky on the way through. So left shoulder and chest working up towards the sky, right palm to the sky. That's going to encourage you to try and keep a little bit more loft in the club face and also utilise more of the bounce.